AI-driven chatbots go rogue. You want to explain that one,
those chatbots. Well, first, let's start with what is a chatbot. I think everyone's probably encountered them by now. You go to a site nowadays, and you might just click on the first thing on the site, and you get this helpful pop-up. Hi, I'm Susan. Can I help you navigate our site today?
Exit.
Go away, go away. Anyways, it's a common thing on support. The site is trying to be helpful, but they pop up with like a picture of a person. They give you the impression there's a real person there. But most of the time, it's automated, maybe some machine learning is involved as far as making sure they can point you to the right directions when you ask questions.
Are you saying Jim did not help me get my auto insurance?
No, probably maybe it turned to Jim somewhere within your fifth question, but they typically start as automated things to help you out. And as we talk about this automation, it really is driven by machine learning and AI to start directing people. And the ones I'm talking about, even in the prediction, are more the text-based ones that pop up on websites, but they're going to voice ones as well. I mean, you might have seen last year, or I guess it's this year still, 2018, Google announced some upgrades to the Google Assistant. There's something called Duplex, where you can tell Google Assistant, hey, make me a hair appointment for next Tuesday. And, there's no online mechanism for your hairstylist. So Google Assistant actually has to call someone. So they've really automated voice calls too. And it's surprising how human they can sound.
It was fascinating and a little creepy.
Oh, it was very alarming. I think since then, some states have laws that say chatbots or bots have to announce themselves as bots first, which is a good thing. Google Duplex didn't do that in their first demo, and they were alarmingly, they even used little phrases, and the bot would while it was pausing for a second, which is really unusual. But anyways, these are useful chatbots, but it's really surprising that we haven't seen attackers weaponize them yet. So one of the things I see happening is we are starting to become kind of familiar with chatbots popping up like normal, but there are sites that don't always have them, say a banking site. So we've talked about web application flaws before. If your website has security flaws, it's possible for attackers to inject other script. So this prediction is about people starting to take chatbot functionality and weaponize it for the bad. That could be finding a legitimate site that doesn't have a chatbot, taking advantage of a flaw to make a fake chatbot pop up. And that chatbot's like your trust in the site. You're assuming it's coming from a place of trust. So if it directs you to a link because you've asked a question, you're assuming that link is on their site and is what you're looking for.
Here, let me help you log in.
Yes, it could very easily be pointing to, the drive-by download or the phishing or whatever it wants to do. So that's generally the prediction. What do you think about it?
I mean, it's a possibility. Yeah. I think of all of our predictions, this is one that is entirely possible for and potentially likely for next year.
Yeah.
Especially with things like Google Duplex. They're not going to be the only ones working on this technology.
Yep.
I'm sure something will become open sourced or easily usable by the bad guys in this case. And we might see more believable phishing that's actually really interactive instead of just the stuff we see right now.
And maybe even vishing with the V, which is voice calls. And by the way, if we're going really dystopian, machine learning not only is allowing computers to, whether it be through text or through voice, to naturally respond to human language, but it's also able to mimic humans. A lot of improvement over machine learning has happened in the past, year. We've seen taking 30 seconds of real Obama speech, turning it into Obama saying whatever you want. We've seen something called deep fakes, which be careful looking up because people use it inappropriately too. But if you have enough pictures of someone's face, you can actually make video of them. So imagine chatbots to the next level. This is probably more a 5-10 year prediction, but not only could they use automated voice to call us for phishing, but I could actually copy Mark's voice when I'm calling Corey, and suddenly I have this whole new trust factor with the Mark I'm speaking to on the phone.
That implies that you actually trust me to begin with.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I do hang up quite often. Sorry about that.
Sure. So what's our defensive tip for this one then? Be on the lookout for more potential phishing attacks that are more interactive?
Yeah, I guess there's a lot. I mean, web application security is important for the sites that do, whether or not you use a chatbot. If it is the more basic text-based chatbots, web application security can prevent the injection of these malicious chatbots. But it really is about being vigilant, I think. I mean, it's hard in this day and age. Spear phishing has gotten so personalized, but you got to have a little bit of a skeptical mind everything you do online. Even I forget that half the time. We're trusting people that want to help each other, but you got to be careful.
And that's how I already have all of your passwords.
That's true.
Yep.